Whoa, 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 whoa. Wicknell Chivayo poses for a picture with the president of Kenya and the president of Zimbabwe at his side. Who is he? Is he now in the presidium? Is he now a government official? Who is he? The man who was once inside the maximum prison in Chikurubi between 2005 and 2008, the man who's been arrested many times after that over money laundering charges and has also been controversial in many government related controversies. Wicknell Chivayo poses with a picture with the president of Kenya as he arrives in Zimbabwe. It's a very good afternoon to you, obvious witnesses. This is Zimai. I'm joined here by Chief Sose. Chief, here we are. Matadzoga kuwana picture portrait chief. Batangigwa.
Good morning or good afternoon, Simba. Here it's 9:22 a.m. in the USA. It's very early here, but that picture paints a very sad story for Zimbabwe. We know that Emerson Mnangagwa, has captured all state institutions, but now he has gone further. Avura Hombe, he is now even capturing his own office, personalizing his own office, diminishing the office of the president, meaning minimizing the office of the president in Zimbabwe, because that picture shows that at the moment, as we are speaking, Chivayo is ahead of political figures like Vice President Chiwenga and the other Vice President, and also minimizes the office of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because pictures tell a story, Simba. We should be seeing Ruto with government officials, not a convicted money launderer like Wicknell Chivayo. And even the picture of him with Emerson Mnangagwa, it just confirms what everyone has been saying, that Emerson Mnangagwa himself is the number one money launderer in Zimbabwe, if not in the world.
But Chief, what if it was just a side picture? It's like you, if you happen to be in Washington, right, and you end up meeting Joe Biden, does that make Joe Biden any lesser or greater because he's met you? What if anga achingopfurawo Wicknell? Achingopfurawo nepanzvimbo obva angonzwa pikicha?
No, Simba. Optics are very important. As a media person, that when you take pictures, especially pictures of officials, it means something. It means a lot. It sends a message out there. If I am seen with Joe Biden, as you are saying, it's a message that I'm sending to people that I am this powerful. I can get close to the powers that be. I can even take pictures with people that matter. That is the message that Wicknell Chivayo is sending right now. And that's the message Emerson Mnangagwa is communicating, not only to the people of Zimbabwe, but also to the people around him. He is rubbishing the people that are around him. He is telling his vice presidents and of course, his Minister of Foreign Affairs, he's actually giving them a middle finger, for lack of a better statement. He's telling them, you guys don't matter. I like hanging out with fraudsters. I love hanging out with convicted criminals. And even if I do that, you cannot do anything to me. The people of Zimbabwe cannot do anything to me. The law cannot do anything to me, because I am the law unto myself, as Emerson Mnangagwa here in Zimbabwe. in any country, Simba, in any normal environment, this will be a shame to see Joe Biden with a terrorist, with a convicted terrorist. It will create, he would even be forced to resign. That would never happen. In a normal environment, in a normal country, of course, our country is not normal. So, things like this can happen. We can allow Emerson Mnangagwa to get away with it, with something like this, but we shouldn't, because the message that he's sending out there is wrong, and it's not good for the country, and it's not good for the office of the president.
But Chief, do you realize that a lot of young people are not going to agree with you? Because Wicknell Chivayo is the face of elevation to a lot of young people. Now, when they see Wicknell Chivayo, they see him as the man who helps young people with cars. And a car, while it can be a liability, it is an asset. Do you agree, Chief? If you're applying for a loan, you will put your car, right, up front as part of the your collateral. So my point is, you don't make sense, Chief, to this group of young people who see Wicknell Chivayo vanotomuti chibaba chinopa vanhu mota. How do you answer? How do you connect your mind with these young ones?
Simba, it's a sad story that you just narrated there. Your words are pregnant with a lot of meaning. You're painting, you're telling the world right now that Zimbabwe is not normal. Our youth are in trouble because we have a country that is not functioning, a country where the youth, have to go on their knees and beg for the crumples, the bread crumples that the powers that be are enjoying. So they end up eulogizing and hero worshipping anyone who gives them those crumbs. That's bad for the country. That's a bad image for the country. That's what dictators do anyway. They make a country poverty-stricken. They impoverish a country to the extent that when they give you crumbs, when they come to the rural areas or in towns and cities and give you vegetables and give you cooking oil and give you some beans or something from China, rice, plastic rice from China, you go down on your knees and clap and thank the government for doing you a favor. But that's not a favor. The government has impoverished you. The government is responsible for the state of our nation. The government is responsible for what our youth in Zimbabwe are going through, and indeed for what the people of Zimbabwe are going through. The poverty that we are seeing today in Zimbabwe has been caused, obviously, by ZANU-PF, ZANU-PF's mismanagement of the economy, massive corruption that we have seen with the documentary that you championed. So this is what dictators do. They make everyone poor, so poor that we have to rely on the government. We have to go to the government. That's what is happening right now. Chivayo, obviously, this is not his money, and we need to talk about that, Simba, because, this guy has been money laundering. He has been accused of money laundering, and he is the kingpin of corruption in Zimbabwe. So all this money it actually belongs to the people, but he goes out there and creates an image that he is a savior. He is giving people cars, but that's not how things work. The youth are supposed to have their own money. The people of Zimbabwe are supposed to be going to work and creating their own money and buying their own cars, buying their own houses. They don't have to go and beg Wicknell. We are being stripped of our dignity. If you see grown-up men, people like Macheso, people like Ja Preza, accepting, trinkets from a convicted criminal, it just tells the story about Zimbabwe. So there's nothing to write home about what Wicknell is doing, giving out cars. He's just showing the world that we have become so poor that we have to rely on a fraudster to get us going, to get our youth going.
Yeah, but Chief, let's jump to Ruto, who will be like our last bit there. I would have wanted, and I'm hoping that along the day, throughout later on in the day, we can have Kenyans here, analysts and journalists debating this matter. What can you say about President Ruto, apart from just the association that you have in your head, by the way? And I stay there in your head because this is what you think, that President Ruto has risked his reputation, or Mnangagwa has subjected President Ruto, um, President Ruto's reputation on. Now, I would like to have your mind on what else President Ruto has done to himself, or what this means around for both President Ruto, his office, and the people of Kenya.
You know, Ruto is a very smart young man, and I'm sure by now he is sitting with anger that he was made to meet a fraudster, a convicted criminal, instead of meeting senior government officials. His office has been demeaned. He is highly regarded in Africa. He is very respected and loved in his own country. But what he has been made to go through by Emerson Mnangagwa, by ZANU-PF, is not what any Kenyan would celebrate. I'm sure Kenyans are sitting with anger right now, especially those who follow geopolitics, who understand who Wicknell Chivayo is. Because it's tantamount, Simba, to your president being seen with El Chapo. If someone who is notorious for stealing from the people, stealing from the government. You would not want to see even your father, Simba, standing with Chivayo, standing with El Chapo, standing with a convicted terrorist or a non-terrorist. You don't want that, for the sake of what we call dignity, Ubuntu. This doesn't do well for President Ruto, and I'm sure he may not say it publicly, but I'm sure he will register, or his office will register their great disappointment, and they should. And if there was a way, Simba, that you could get to his presidents or some of his people and quiz him about that, people would love to hear what they're thinking right now. But I see a scenario where the office of the president in Kenya has been very demeaned. It's an insult to the people of Kenya. We can't even talk about ourselves, because it is indeed a huge insult to us that Emerson Mnangagwa is glorifying someone who should be in jail. He is glorifying someone who has made his money through unorthodox means, someone who is stealing from the people, someone who has stolen from the government. Imagine the solar project, the people of Matabeleland would have been enjoying power right now, but they are not, because that money is in the pockets of one man, a convicted fraudster, Chivayo.
But Chief, don't you think that maybe this is an indication that Ruto himself was compromised in the first place? Because with all the investigations to date, he has chosen or has accepted to travel to a country that has got this reputation and to launch a trade fair in an economy that is the opposite of any professionally run country. Don't you think that Ruto might just be plastic? And meeting Chivayo is no different from who he is. It's just that we know Chivayo, but we potentially don't know how many other people he's meeting of this caliber in Kenya. And so far, we know at least two people he has met, Emerson Mnangagwa and Chivayo. He's not just met them, he's actually traveled all the way from Nairobi to Harare and to Bulawayo. So I'm saying, Chief, aren't you amuzima akungomupa mapapiro ere murumoyo kumuti hey asi corrupt? I can see here someone has just said Simba, it's impossible because Ruto with his caliber he can't associate with himself with criminals, but he's already associated himself by coming to the country.
Simba, ZANU-PF is dangerous. You remember at the inauguration of Emerson Mnangagwa, we know that he had to pay some presidents, including the likes of Ramaphosa, millions of dollars appearance fee so that they could come to his inauguration. So to ZANU-PF, everyone has a prize because they can afford anything. They can afford any prize. They are stealing state resources. They are laundering our money. They are selling our minerals, our diamonds, our gold. So their pockets are limitless. They can buy anyone. They can give money to anyone. I would not be surprised, and I would not put it past Ruto. When the Kenyan election was done, I wasn't even personally, I wasn't even rooting for Ruto. He was not the opposition's choice. We had our own candidate who should have won. We sincerely believe that the Kenyan election was rigged. It was a big rig. Of course, being supported by ZANU-PF. Yeah, you have heard what is happening right now in Mozambique. The Mozambican government is actually accusing the Emerson Mnangagwa government of interfering with their elections. So we know that Emerson Mnangagwa is capable of doing that. So I wouldn't put it past Ruto that he is also involved in criminal activities, or he may be, because if he is not, he would not agree to be demeaned and his office to be diminished the way it has been diminished. He knows, he reads newspapers, he knows what is going on in Zimbabwe. He knows about the gold smugglers. He knows about money laundering. He should also definitely know about Wicknell Chivayo, especially with what Wicknell has been doing, giving cars, flashing cars everywhere and anywhere. So he should know. But if Simba, you can get hold of people in Kenya, I would want to hear what they think. And I know for sure they would not want their president to be associated with a criminal, and they would criticize their president for doing what he did today. This is embarrassing.
So while we're on that, Chief, someone has just said here, are you forgetting that there's a possibility here that these two, Ruto and Wicknell, already know each other? And like one person once said about Zuma and Ramaphosa, they were together in those crimes that you are charging them. They were together. They are together. So today, Chief, you're only getting surprised. Maybe these two, Ruto and Wicknell, they are together. Somebody even says Wicknell has done business in Kenya before. It might be Wicknell is connecting Mnangagwa to Ruto. Investigate that. So these probably, they might have been together, these people, both of them, in those crimes, in those money launderings.
It's a possibility, a big possibility. And I shed tears for Africa, when I think about the corruption that we witness every day. So I agree with the writer. This is there is a possibility, and Simbaita zvinhu zvako. Put an investigation team behind this. Let's see. Let's get deeper. Let's see exactly what motivated Ruto to agree to meet Wicknell. Because Simba, this was not a coincidence. Like you were saying earlier, that this could just have happened. This just didn't happen. This is This is not generic. This is something that was planned. They planned to have this meeting, and
What I can
obviously.
tell you, Chief, what I can definitely tell you
Hmm.
is that in Africa, there are 3 countries where money laundering is easy. So, Chief, if you ever one day decide to join these people, there are 3 countries you can go to, right? Where
Hmm.
where it's easy, where they can steal money in Africa: Kenya, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. These 3 countries, money
Yeah,
inolipika shakanakanaka. I'm just telling you, I've just remembered from my notes, by the way.
yeah. Saka,
And remember, Chief, are you forgetting?
mm,
When you watch the gold mafia, that man who actually posts that he's got a book that he has
yeah,
written,
he was in
the book,
Kenya at one
yes,
time.
no, 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 no. He is actually Kenyan himself. That man who boasts saying, I wrote a book on how democracy should be done in Africa. That man who grounded Kenya's economy in the early 1990s. He's a Kenyan. The one that Macmillan then says, bloody Kenyan.
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
man is ndokwa yakatangira iko kuye gold mafia iko kuye ndokwa yakatanga kuinvestigatwa ku1992
Mm.
ndokwa yakatangira gold mafia yamunoona. It's not a Zimbabwean project, it is a Kenyan project. Ndokwa yakatangira, ndokwa yakagadzigwa iko kuye.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Ikabva
that.
yazounzwa kunoku, up to this day that Kamlesh Patni is walking scot free. So, Chief, I'm sure you can do your maths now. If
Yeah.
Wicknell is connected to
Probably can
Kamlesh
do them.
Patni, then you have finished your mathematics.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, but this is an embarrassment of great magnitude, Simba, and the Kenyans should be angry. Zimbabweans should also be angry. Emerson Mnangagwa and Ruto must be very embarrassed. Must feel very embarrassed, and we should make them feel embarrassed by talking about this. This should go viral. We should raise noise, raise dust about such scenarios. We should not tolerate anything like this. We are telling our children literally that it's okay to be a thief. It's okay to steal from the people. It's okay to be a fraudster. Then you get to meet with presidents, to wine and dine with presidents. This doesn't give a good picture of us as Zimbabweans and even us as Africans. We are glorifying something that should be condemned. Wicknell should not be, put in the limelight like this. Let him do his nonsense. Let him throw away his money like any fool does. Let him buy as many cars as he does. But do not glorify what he's doing by putting him on such a big stage. This is wrong. It shouldn't happen.
Well, here we are. Vesmin says, what are your views? What are your views around this? Someone is saying here, watching from South Africa, no Tantum Gluli. And someone says, Robert Mugabe. That's Broccoli. They're writing on our YouTube channel. And someone says, yes, Zimbabweans. Yes, as Zimbabweans, how did we end up sinking this low? Honestly, how did we end up sinking this low? Chief, it's been great speaking. What I would like to do, Chief, today, I would like to get a few people we can from Kenya, because I actually think I think I've lost Chief there. Oh, sorry, he's back now. Just bring him back. I apologize. Yeah. So, Chief, what I was saying was that I would like later on to get a few more people so we can discuss this tonight, 8 p.m., with a broader panel. Kenyans, particularly Kenyans. I want to get Kenyan journalists and analysts from that region so that we munch this topic. Timbo Famba and I, and I'm quite sure by then we should have been able to get some traces or pieces of evidence that show Wicknell Chivayo's activities in Kenya. Chief, thank you so much, and have a good afternoon, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.